everyone and welcome at another episode of Site Spotlight. I am Marieke van der Rakt and I'm here with Taco van Donschot.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I am ready for some art.
Ready to go to a museum?
Yes.
Yeah,
How
well
about you? Do you like going to museums?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, so I also enjoy the way this website looks like.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and first impressions are important. I think this homepage is gorgeous. It looks like a gallery. It has like these bold letters, a lot of white space. I think it looks, I don't know, it looks fun. It looks fun, and the museum should also look fun because it should not be boring. It's not boring. It has a not everyday look, and I think that fits the purpose of an art gallery. And I love that this design is distinctive and different. Yeah. However,
Uh-oh.
however, I think this also always comes with a trade-off, right? If you are very distinct, a navigation should work intuitive. And this navigation does not work intuitive. So it means that in this website, I had to do a lot of clicking around, going back, didn't know how to get back to where I came from. It's hard to find the basic things like, okay, what's on? Where can I visit? Where are tickets? Where do I have to go? So I got lost a few times. And that's maybe not a disaster for an art site, but I think there is a way to keep the magic and also don't lose people. Don't get them lost on your website.
Yep.
And so we see it, there's like this click away banner that says that it is currently, closed.
Closed. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's still a lot going on. So I would change that message in something that, okay, this is closed, but you still can do, I don't know, you can do workshops and there's still ways to experience us. So I think that would be a good thing to change. And I think what they really need to do is help with the navigation, make it clearer. Use breadcrumbs on deeper pages. Use a start here button for first-time visitors. Because I think the site really needs that. It really needs to guide a user through that site.
To be honest, I expected that the button "Take a closer look" that we see on the homepage would actually help me dive in.
Yeah, but I don't do.
But when I click it, it seems to just change the heading. It makes the name of the art gallery smaller, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't do anything actually. Yeah, so I spend a lot of time clicking around in that website, and that's just not what you want people to do. So you want to have an intuitive design for your users to find what they are looking for, and still have like this fun, arty look, because that works, I think. What about the technical stuff, Taco? You're the technical man.
Yes. So despite this website being listed in the showcase on WordPress.org, the website isn't built on WordPress.
What? That's weird.
So what I wanted to do, as I do very often, is go to the robots.txt to see some basic info about the site. What do they allow and where can I find the sitemap? Now, if I go to robots.txt, I end up on an empty page.
Oh.
So that's not helping me at all. That makes it harder to find the sitemap. So let me guess that it lives at sitemap.xml. That also doesn't seem to be the case because I end up on the very same white page.
Right.
So that's not it. Luckily, when I opened the menu, we are closed. In some of the elements, here, right. here at the
There's a
bottom,
sitemap.
there's a button that says sitemap. So this might be my segue into the sitemap. And oh, right now it actually shows. This is fun because that's different from when we prepared, because the page was completely blank then.
Oh,
So this is actually helpful. Now I have a way to sort of understand where the site's going. So they must have done an improvement in the last 2 days, and that's good news.
good
It's
for them.
really helpful. Now, the other thing that you might have noticed already while I was clicking around is that sometimes you see images pop up a little bit later.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of moving elements and color changing elements.
yeah.
But especially when it comes to load time, the site can be quite low. If we look at Google PageSpeed's insights, you can see that there's a cumulative layout shift. And that basically means that while the page is loading, elements are pushed down or moved to the side because of other elements loading. And that's creating a very confusing user experience because you might want to click on a button and then all of a sudden it jumps to a different position. And that's why this is one of the core web vitals, because Google said, hey, that's not a good experience for a website. You don't want elements jumping around so that people misclick. Now, if we go to the site and we use a little tool that throttles to a slow 4G connection, we can actually visualize a bit how long it takes to load the site. So if we now reload the site, you can see on a slow 4G that it will actually load elements one by one.
Right.
And this helps you understand what that slowness is. Now, if I scroll down further on the page, you see that, well, right now it's already loaded most of the images, but this text that you see here jumped around a bit because images were loading. And you can see how long it takes for the whole site to be loaded. So this is definitely something that they can improve on by being smarter about it, maybe lazy loading some of the images. So there's room for improvement here. The other thing where there's room for improvement is cookie consent.
Wow.
We're very used to having a pop-up, especially for people looking at the web from Europe.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing sites asking us, hey, how much tracking can we do? Well, there's no consent banner whatsoever on this site. At no point they're asking, can we track anything? Now, if we look at the elements being loaded, the cookies being loaded, here in application, we can see cookies. And if we enlarge that a little bit, we can see that Google Analytics and the Facebook tracking pixel are loaded right off the bat. So that means that tracking is happening and that should have gotten consent. Even though, and this is good to mention, the website is obviously Australian.
Yeah.
But because it accepts visits from the European Union, it accepts European visits, they still have to comply with the rules and regulations that go for European visitors.
So let's talk content. So my first impression, like the visuals across the site are lovely and very gallery. So that aesthetic thing absolutely works. But content-wise, there's not a lot to grab on here, especially on pages where people come with real intent. And we're looking at one of those right now. So this is about wanting or how to become a volunteer. So what people then want to know is, can I help? How do I sign up? What do I do? And right now, the copy here stays really high level, really general, pretty formal. It mentions that volunteers gain an inside view and that they help, for instance, with archive tasks and public programs. But it doesn't go further into any of those practical details that people need to make a decision. And it doesn't, for me, it doesn't at all make you enthusiastic by like wanting to volunteer. I think a lot of websites we review, when it comes to content, we see websites that write for the search engines and write way too much. So they just keep on putting out content, and then they create an overflow, which is terrible because people don't like to read lengthy texts. So don't just write for the search engines. That would be my advice then. But this site leans towards too little content. Yeah. Because people need content. People need to have an understanding of what you're saying, and if you don't write it down or put it in a video, you can put it in a video too, then they will not understand what it's about. And I think that's a missed opportunity, especially for something like community engagement. So I also looked into the tone and readability. I used the SEO readability analysis for that. And I think if you look at the tone, it's really formal and distant. Well, I think it should be direct or welcoming, trying to address people. So they use a lot of passive voice in the text, which makes a text really hard to read. Passive voice is seen in a sentence like this: becoming a guide at the gallery is a rewarding commitment that contributes towards a rich experience for visitors. That's really boring sentence. And I would rewrite something like that and directly address the reader. Do you want to become a guide in our gallery? It's a rewarding commitment, and you'll contribute at a rich experience for our visitors. You'll make a difference. So just writing it a little bit different would, I think, engage people more and get them to really become a volunteer. So I think a lot of opportunity to improve here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I can immediately feel that I respond better to your example on the rewrite than to the text that's on the page.
Yeah, that first sentence, becoming a guide at the gallery is a rewarding commitment that contributes towards a rich experience for visitors. That's just a bad sentence. And that's the beginning of that part. Yeah, there's a lot to improve here. And they don't need any volunteers, so that's a good thing. They have a lot of them, probably.
Well, and they're currently closed.
Yes.
So maybe they might have some time to improve before they actually need to find new people.
Volunteers. Yeah.
Looking at the accessibility, we're going to start with keyboard accessibility. Specifically because this site is very image heavy, I expected that would be problematic. Now, if we tap through the site, you can already see in the top left, the menu is highlighted with a clear pink border, and that jumps across the page and through each of the elements in an order that makes sense for a loosely structured section. So very much contrary to my expectations, this is actually really well done and a very good example of how you should indicate focus on elements when tabbing through a website. Now, the other thing that we expect from a website is a clear heading structure.
Yeah.
And that means that you start with the highest level heading and you have subheadings below that. In HTML, that can go from heading level 1 to heading level 6. So below a heading 1 should be a heading 2, and that should be followed by a heading 3, or you have several heading 2s in a row, for example. But you only have one heading level 1, which is the main topic of the page, is the title of the page usually. Now, if we use this little browser add-on to take a look at the heading structure for the art gallery of Ballarat, we can see that it starts with heading level 4. And it only has heading level 4 until it comes to a heading level 2, which is then followed by a heading level 4.
Yeah.
So this page is missing an H1 and skipped some heading levels. So there definitely is room for improvement
Yeah.
on this site. I would even say it urgently needs improvement towards its site structure. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is some WCAG guidelines. Those are the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and that's a set of guidelines that help companies and people understand how to make sure the web is accessible. Guideline 3.2 says that the website should be predictable, and Guideline 2.4 says it should be navigable. Both come down to don't make me think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a structure. I need to have a structure that makes sense and that makes it easy to navigate your website. And I feel that this is where this website goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because I think overall, I've now clicked through it for roughly an hour, and I still fail to properly understand its structure. Every time I click a button, I seem to end up in a new place with more information and new links. And this is by clicking some of the elements on the front page. It's loading an exhibition. Let me see if I still have it throttled, because otherwise it's going to take a very long time. Yes, let's remove that. But even then, I end up on a page with a large image and a fairly small text. I think I can buy this.
Go there.
It's
Go
free.
there or buy there. I don't know either. Oh, this is just what it is. We don't know. We don't understand what we're
No.
doing.
And so I don't really know how I get back. I may also like the woman. It's a nice photograph.
Get tickets. So
But
it's free.
here I have to get tickets, but it's free. So I'm not really sure what we're talking about. There's a time and date
Yeah. We can
on
go there
this.
on Monday.
I don't know for what. It's the morning tea. So
We're
are
not
they
there. We can't
meeting?
go there. We can't go there. We're not seniors.
Well, that's true. But
No,
it's
it says, if you just scroll down, it said that the event is free, but bookings are essential. So it's an event.
yeah. Oh, it's an event. Yes. But how would I know this from clicking the face on the homepage that I was
I don't
going to
know
end
either.
up with events? And does that mean that this piece of art also sends me to an event?
Or something else. It's all
It's
very free. So what
yeah.
I see here is that this is a very artful way, a very creative way of using a website. And that's fun, but it doesn't help people to find what they're looking for. And in many
Exactly.
cases, a website is there to help people find out more information. And this is more like an art experience.
Yep. Yeah, it is. And the menu helps a little bit,
Oh, we had a good chunk of text here.
but yeah, it's hidden.
Yeah.
It's not easy to understand. How do I get back from where I am now, other than going through
The menu,
exhibitions,
yeah.
and then I find it's an exhibition and I have the same face again.
Yeah.
And this is a pop-up, not a new page I'm going to, but it's also free. So it's a free exhibition, I guess, because I came here through exhibitions, but it doesn't really say that it is. So this is the part about the site where you already touched on. It's confusing,
Yeah.
and that's really hard.
Yeah, and
So
I think you could say, well, not every website has to follow the same format and we want to be creative. But if the purpose of the website is to inform people about things and get them to your gallery, then I think this is a lost opportunity. And then you should, I think, keep the appearance, make the appearance seem arty, but make a very well structured navigation and structure so that people can find their way towards your gallery, because that's the end goal.
yeah, and especially because every time you go to the homepage, it says we're closed.
Yeah.
But this
There's
seems,
so much going on.
yeah, they might be closed since August, I guess. But there's still things going on. So I'm not sure. And I hope that with the remodeling of the art gallery itself, they also update the website
Right.
and make it easier, because the art itself is definitely inviting.
Yeah, yeah, and the way it looks as well. So I would like to visit sometimes when we're in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. We can never in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
let's go to Ballarat.
Yeah. Okay, well, so we've come to the end of this episode of Site Spotlight, right?
Absolutely, yes. But if you wish to have your site in the spotlight, you can.
Yeah, check it out. Where did we have to go, Taco? You know.
Yeah, so you go to progressplanner.com/site-spotlight, and that's where you can sign up to be also in our spotlight in our YouTube series.
Well, I look forward to seeing your website, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. We know your time is valuable, and we're glad you spent some of it with us. If you got value from today's video, go ahead and like, leave a comment and hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss the next tip. And if you're ready to keep going, check out another video right here. We've got more ways to help you level up your website without the overwhelm.